Girl, where you been at for the last couple summers? Girl, where you been at for the last couple summers? Girl, you know my teacher Spanish short, got my teacher right. Girl, I love them leggings, peasant short, I hop up in a flight. Girl, where you been at for the last couple winters? Girl, where you been at for the last couple winters? Sit that booty still just for a second, get this picture right. Bounce that ass again and mess it up, watch all these friends tonight. All the burn fish, you know it's going down. So when I fill up with you know I hope some hoes around. If you ain't there, look, girl, I might have drove right to your house. As soon as you pick it up, now drop it low right to the ground. For the flight boss, bitch. Yellow is the pilot man. Need a flight assistant when we about to go and fly again. Put that hoe in charge, but all she wanna do is lie there. Then she blew her strings, try to play me like a violin. Please don't do no favors, I'ma fuck you when I'm done. Shipping me up in no place, I got it coming with my gun. Shorty got a BBL and her tummy got it done. You just gotta have a Gucci and some money every month. You ain't gotta do all that, you can save a little check. Hit you up, go on a cruise, I'ma slay you on the deck. Girl, these things just for sex. I ain't gon' lie, bitch, I do too. Soon as I stepped up in the place, you know I got my eye on you. If you ever miss me, I'ma show you where the powder flew. Think you gon' get me out my business, ain't that kinda dude. Spring, summer, fall, and we watchin' winter freezing. It's a time and place for everything, and plus it's different seasons. Oh yeah, you been at for the last couple summers. Girl, who you been at for the last couple summers? Girl, you know my teacher Spanish short, got my teacher right. Girl, I love them leggings, passing short, I hop up in a flight. Girl, where you been at for the past couple winters? Girl, where you been at for the past couple winters? Sit that booty still just for a second, get this picture right. Bounce that ass again and that's the flight. Watch all we print tonight, call it rare bitch. Girl, yeah.
We about to talk about what everybody need to do. It don't matter what career field you in, what Beavis and Butthead couch you on, you know what I'm saying, what sitcom you into, Waiting on Mona Scott Part 2, it don't even matter. This is just for you. We're going to go through Aries, Taurus, and all the fellowships after that. Fellowships. They all following each other like a fellowship and stuff like that. Hopefully y'all can get into some type of fellowship internally. Y'all start doing that externally. Y'all won't have no problem coming together. Y'all won't have no problems about y'all degenerate seeds. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be really planting general seeds. I'm saying the real principle of the reality that teaches us all the type of things that built that new yellow iron. We bring it back to the old yellow iron, but it's just imagine what new kind of cobalt mine, new gold bolts we can make from that though. New mineral alert, new mineral alert. We make the minerals. You better understand that too. We make the cell salts and stuff like that. Y'all, the essential minerals and stuff. Y'all don't know nothing about like. Yet, last time you went to the hospital because you probably got cancer in your right kneecap and stuff like that. I bet the first thing they told you, exercise. You could have been watching my live streams, other people's live streams, homie who got knocked out, Andrew Tate lives. You could have been doing that. You just lost. You like what you think your body doing then? What you think your body doing? You start healing faster and stuff like. What you think it's doing? You building medicinals. You picking medicinal spirit, picking medicinals in your body. Little floating spirit. Just like, you know what I'm saying? You jump inside your blood cells and stuff. You go pick a little fruit off a tree there, a little stuff, a bush there and stuff. One thing they ain't never seen or find though was a bread tree. They still ain't find no plant that grow straight yeast yet before bacteria die and become yeast. That's hard to find. Not in the new 21st century though. A lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying? You got Americana diets and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can find it in you. You can find it in you. You know better than that. Your brain neurons may be fat. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you well in shape. like me, yo, wow, a whole goddamn cannonball break in half. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter. You could be in shape just like that. Somewhere in y'all minds, y'all out of shape. So when y'all mind be out of shape, nothing matters in reality. Nothing matters in reality. You know what I'm saying? So you need to keep that in mind too. But for the most part, no one's technically out of shape. Your shape, your elbow moves specially for you. Your kneecap moves specially for you. So that's what people connect to as far as creating businesses together and stuff. And that's what people are attracted to as far as the opposite sex being attracted to each other and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's why y'all females sometimes be looking at another guy like, why he with a mutt bucket or something like that, or and vice versa, or whatever the case. You see what I'm saying? And it might be something else she seen in him, the way he wiggle his kneecap or something like that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You might have just thought, oh, he probably fucked the shit out of it. It might not always have something to do with it. That might always have the way he wiggled his left pinky toe or something. You know what I'm saying? It like she might. It ain't even got nothing to do with his pinky toe. Just one string of event lead to another string of event lead to another string of event. It could be fucking, but it probably all the way led to like the left pinky. Oh, I'm saying it's deep. I'm telling y'all. See, I ain't spiritual like that. That's why sometimes I feel like, man, it's not wasting my time getting up here just giving them a little spiritual grace. You know what I'm saying? Or should I come up here and just get rooted in solidity? Should I just get rooted in surface level? Should I just get rooted in flesh? I be thinking, I be like, oh no, I come up here and crash out and start going to the spiritual world, show everybody where you get ready to crash, where your train get ready to go. No, I'm saying where you all aboard, where the path is at. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to, I'm fighting demons. Oh, no. Fighting demons. Everybody fighting demons. Everybody fighting demons. Everybody. Shout out to everybody, all ethnicities. Everybody shout out. Everybody spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Notorious. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, him. Biggie Smalls. But yeah, this is to correlate and cultivate things in the esoteric world before you even see it in the physical world as physical land. We're esoterically landscaping and stuff like that. So you think it's like it's just in somebody's mind in a pseudo, but the time of the year, spring, you see things grow that it don't grow at fall and winter, but you see things happen at winter time that you don't see at spring. You know, you might just got a bias and be like, well, I wish fruit grow and stuff like that. But you know, there's a certain difference that play out in other areas. Snow, you know what I'm saying? Cold. These things playing out in areas that you may not really care about because you too lost into the flesh and what's cool for you or not. And without that attribute of life, without that part of life, all of them together working in sync, relatability, yo, my God, wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times y'all be having to chill out what y'all be saying. A lot of times, man, listen, don't you try to stop something that, man, that wasn't in existence in itself, in communion with everything else, you wouldn't be here. You want to live your life out of sync, but you want your heart and lungs to work together every day. You want your brain, you know what I'm saying, to work together with your right thigh muscle that got goddamn eczema on the side of it. You know what I'm saying? You want these things to work in sync all the time, but you want to be the most unrelatable person in reality. You know what I'm saying? So this is what this is all about, is getting you in sync. It ain't just about your own biases and dealing with family, friends, associates, co-workers, and things of that nature. It's about how well are you in communion with nature. Because once you do that, guess what? Guess what's being developed? Your actual natures. Then you could go somewhere. Then you could put on that fake smile and it actually don't look like a fake smile. And you really like persuaded the manager to think that you was actually kissing their ass and it was real or something like that. You ain't really have to do much and stuff like that. Well, you got a raise. But now you got a raise and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because you know how to conduct your spirit a little better. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know how long managers be doing stuff? They like, this bastard got a fake smile. I already know it. Oh, they want something. They get ready to ask for a day that I gave somebody else that day for them kissing my ass a little better. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be knowing how deep stuff go. Y'all just be thinking for y'allselves. You don't know the manager heard 5 versions of what you get ready to present as a sentence. Y'all, they just heard 5 versions of it. 1 last week, 2 the week before that. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. You ain't getting ready to say nothing new. Just like you get ready to call off and say, oh, I got a cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't heard nothing new. Get creative. Just like the streets. Get creative. You know what I'm saying? Stop blaming stuff on the streets. Because y'all crash out artists. Y'all don't know how to be collegists the right way. Y'all don't know how to be mafia mobsters the right way to Italian. It ain't nobody fault but y'all. Don't try to blame it on the streets. Blame it on people. You know what I'm saying? Real time blame it on the street like, oh, nobody care about nothing in the streets or whatever. No, people don't care about your actions. That's why you ain't selling records. No, I'm saying, I'm trying to blame it like, oh, it ain't no streets no more. Streets ain't buying no records. No, people in the streets ain't buying your shit. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the difference. See, that's the people don't be understanding. It ain't about the streets. Forget the streets too. You know what I'm saying? The street ain't a person. The street ain't a person. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It ain't a person, but it's just the circumstances and situations that people get involved in. Some can handle it, some can't. Some went too far based upon opportunities. Realize the stuff that come with it. You might can't handle all that. You thought you could. A few dollar bills, George Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? You know, I said a few George Washingtons and things, a few Hamiltons and stuff like that. You start looking at it, you know, I say you start going crazy, crash out. You went to sleep drunk one night, woke up in a halfway house. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. You got shot last week. Oh, better than that. You just got your advance. Oh, better than that. Took your advance right to jail. I'm saying, so this is what everybody, we 12 minutes in yet, this is what everybody need to corroborate. I don't care if you're a rapper, singer, actor, actress, politician, business, connoisseur, philanthropist, if I said that the right way, white collar, blue collar individuals, goddamn scammer in Florida somewhere or something like that, however, Las Vegas, however the case it may be, we gonna get it all together, and you can, when your sign be like this, be like, all right, it's me, let me make sure I don't be the scammer, because I'm not teaching you how to scam a better way. I'm not teaching you how to scam or y'all saying y'all be flunked out. I'm teaching you how you might be seen. I might describe something that you could look at your little scheme and be like, wait, that don't sound right, or whatever the case may be, because you might get exposed expressing that. That might have worked last week. I said that might have worked when the moon was in Sagittarius or something, when the moon was in Capricorn or whatever. Like, it might have worked then or something like that. Right now, somebody see your hand in the cookie jar. It's like that kind of quality and stuff like that. Not for everybody. Just for some. It's based upon the alignment. You know what I'm saying? Capricorn bring boundaries and restrictions, but due to the fact of the alignment itself, the angle, the angel that'll hit you, that light ray, boom, it hits your micro light ray that you can't see. It's so light, it's light in weight, so you ain't got a lot of clouds that can come in one area and look like a hot cloud, like a sun, but it's still the same thing. You just got a micro version of it, so you just be breathing in. The breath ain't the spirit, it's what your spirit be in. Then your spirit be in the mind, your spirit be in your blood, so your spirit be everywhere. But a lot of y'all be outside yourselves. So you don't be inside yourself, and then when you make a mistake, you be like, oops, I made a mistake. I wasn't myself. You damn right you wasn't yourself. You was having an out-of-body experience. You was a retard. Oh, better than that. You was a degenerate. Oh, better than that. That's all it was. If you want to give it words, you was an Abaddon. Oh, better than that. You was a bastard. Whatever it was. We got words in the encyclopedia. We got all kind of stuff. Shout out to the white man. They got the encyclopedia. They got Webster's dictionary stuff. You could read for days. Don't be listening to y'all favorite rappers all the time who know how to crease the bandana better than knowing how to read. Know how to sip the double cup and lose their teeth faster than jumping in the studio. I be listening to these people and stuff like that. Santana's town. Oh, I'm saying all for that. Jewel's dip Santana. Say out for that. Shout out to Jewel Santana. Shout out to what I'm saying. I'm cracking jokes. Not teeth. I'm cracking jokes. Oh, I'm saying man, shout out to Harlem. Real shit. Birthday. My family was that first. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You know what I'm saying? But look, we got to beat game though. Like, well, I'm just saying, I'm just people. Yeah, I love everybody, man. Everybody raised everybody and stuff. Because we here. We got to raise each other over here in America. Y'all know that, right? This is a melting pot right now. We got to raise each other. We got to raise each other. We got people get rich, and we got people on the lowest bottom hanging of the fruit. We got to raise each other and stuff like that. I wish we stopped the killing. I wish we stopped hitting each other upside the heads and stuff like that. I wish we got better ways to conduct our hustler mentalities and stuff like that. A lot of y'all be way richer than Michael Jordan right now. The way y'all got the good qualities of hustling, but then got the bad qualities because it pertaining to hustling for a gang or hustling for a clique or hustling for a block you don't own or something like that. At that point, you just get ready to try to hustle somebody on the next block, not you making that block mean something because all the stuff y'all did, y'all built a park over there, all kind of like 20 little league football teams, baseball teams, ballet teams, and volleyball teams for the females, the little girls and stuff like that. Y'all, I ain't into that, man. Y'all ain't into nothing. So it's hard for like one or a group of small people and stuff like that to try to take the charge and lead and stuff like that and get back into those conversations I usually have. Influence energy. I said that don't really exist. There got to be somebody already in on it, what you in on. So y'all ain't really got, and don't take too much influence. We got to change the word influence. It's motivation. I might have did something that you look like you could update with your shit that we already involved in the same tactics. I motivated you and you motivated me. So like influence, woo, that's like, that varies, man. That's vague in today's in the 21st century. There's a lot of words that got to be remixed now and stuff like that. It worked. Maybe before 2016, 2012, stopped working after a while. We trying to hold on to things. Beyond that word just an example. There's many things. Mind states, you know what I'm saying? And a collection of thoughts and feelings. These are the only things that's condensing into our everyday life as things like religion. Our business, our day-to-day interactions and relationships, the moral systems we was developing previously based upon our experiences. And we ain't particularly having those same experiences anymore. It's like a remix of old experience trying to be brought into new, because the old that we was in that was currently is now is at its ending stage. So it's always a repeat. It's like the old is new and the new is old. Was first shall be last, last shall be first. You know what I'm saying? This is why you say it's a new year, but it's really just spring again. So spring was here before the new year. So when if it's spring again and you saying that's the new year, now you get how to not go too far with that, or you'll turn into an oxymoron or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Keep things simple. You can't have one without the other. You can't have left without the right. You see what I'm saying? So you can't have forward, up, and left without expansion. You can't have down, right, and back without implosion. So you see what I'm saying? So things appear to be moving to the right because we creating things and we're externalizing it, and that's what the things appear to be moving to. It wouldn't appear if we didn't externalize it. So for the most part, internally, when we make these things, we make what appears to be on the left. But it's just because when we create something and then it start to go something we have to take responsibility for, righteous, connect to, don't leave behind, left behind, take care of your responsibilities, sweep something up under the rug, it appears that it's going to the right. So it starts to appear, this is how we spring things into a cycle. For all purposes of the word, spring. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, it play out in 3 different layers. You can get lost in one of the existences and don't see how it relate to the other existence. Then don't see how the existence ain't separate. It's just a mechanism. It's a procedure of how one come into the other. But the reason why you think it's separate, because you're able to experience both transitions. So when something is in its maker stage and then it gets into its accumulate stage, you get to compare and contrast against the accumulated stage and the stage of the collection before it's accumulated. So this gets to the things that's less in weight, like the sun, light, clouds, light ray particles and stuff like that. And then you get to the collection of it. Fall and winter and concealing and things like caves and things that's like containers and the woman's womb and her pussy and stuff like that, right? So for the most part, you start to compare and contrast, like these things are different, and then you have no choice to get into a third layer because you're the observer and you're observing something coming to be, and you're observing something outside of you that you can't see, but you still see that it's a form of something coming to be or influencing something to come to be, all the way to the point of you just straight up an atheist and scientifical. So you want to point to air. You know, you can't see air, but you can see that air is influencing the leaves on the trees to blow, or whatever the case may be. So whether you want to take that more to a philosophical point of view, piggybacking on spirituality or religion, or however the case may be, that's up to you. But I'm just giving everybody layers and groundings and foundations and bases that they can ground this form of information on, so I don't get too far away from all the pocket all y'all humans in. Y'all say, I be flying around everywhere. I fly everywhere. That's how you answer all prayers. I go deeper to that. I can talk to a deaf blind person in their lingo, animals, everything, and stuff like. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all this is for an example, right? You might think it's a joke, but it ain't. I can teach you what that actually means, right? You like to connect with people. That's your anatomy, physically. That comes from something, right? So before you physically connect with someone, you're mentally trying to figure out how to connect with someone, right? So that's the second layer, right? Physical, 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, anatomy. Astrology, the meaning, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, for lack of better words, you turds, right? Then you have what connection mean in itself for you to have the meaning, and then for you to want it and obtain it in some way, whether mentally or physically, right? That's the spiritual space of the essence that a collection of spirits, such as yourself, emanated that cycle in the first place that had nothing to do with we calling it connection and you wanting it to be a bias now or something that please you now. It's something that you doing anyway, and it's from that cause, the effect has connection to it. And then once we have that connection, you go through your spiritual jargon to know how many layers that go through, or whatever the case may be. The only thing that comes from that is going to be negative if you're not doing it relatable and in sync. And it's going to be positive if you are doing it relatable and in sync. So you ain't going to never be able to escape from relatability and in sync energy and things of that nature. I mean, you could even try to be disgruntled yourself, but you want the things like your lungs and your heart and your brain to work together and things of that nature. So for the most part, some form, you want this quality, essence-wise, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension spiritual, that you know exists in the mind that you can't weigh physical yet, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. The second layer, from the highest layer, the most expanded layer, don't high or low, that's linear thinking. But the most expanded layer, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, spirit, the mind, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, the development of that existence, that substance, the mind is the substance, and then you wanting to experience it tangibly, or have more of that substance to experience, even if it's not physically in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, but it's a mental form that's just enough that your spirit can be inside of and have forms of protection from vulnerability or comfortability or some form of acceptance or gratification that you have wanted to obtain. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, when you know what you're striving for, but you don't believe in one or the other, you're not believing in your spirit being the observer, controlling, which is your space, controlling the mechanism, which is the mind, your time, and every time is a starting point. A time has an expiration date, and expiration date is when a collection of times, minds come together, thoughts and feelings, and conceal and become an actual experience. Conceal, condense, become fleshly fluid, condense, become motivation, condense, become adrenaline, condense, and become your experience. And then for the most part, this is how you're able to experience from the inside out, and you expanding into life, but being inside of what you have expanded simultaneously from the spirit world, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, your space, creating your first body, your mind, your time, and before it expires, and you're experiencing the mechanism of it being in its lightest stage, and then it reaches its heaviest stage and accumulated stage, the organ, aka the expiration date. And then that's when time moves a little slower, aka the vibration moves a little slower because it's heavier and clunker. So you get to experience your mind, and with your mind made out of itself, the organs, for a little bit more time. Just not in a less dense version in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, where it's just like the dream world. So you know the dream world is the world, your first body, that manifests and become this body. So you're constantly making a mind or organ, mind, blood flow, mind, blood flow, mind, blood flow. This is how you keep yourself going. When you lack care, you lack thoughts and feelings, you lack adrenaline, blood flow, you start to get dry, and you start to get gangrene or whatever the case may be, or you end up doing sporadic actions, or you end up manifesting an actual situation where you're around other people that it may not be apparent outwardly and physically, but y'all are sick in some type of way where y'all end up creating a catastrophic situation, all the way to probably driving too fast on the freeway and y'all all drunk. You see what I'm saying? But you killed yourself in some way, shape, or form. From the spiritual perspective. You know what I'm saying? You got to see it from the spiritual perspective. So it's always your responsibility to know what situations you in or not, and know where it leads to, whether if you jump into that experience and it actually leads to that or not. We don't always know the makeup of things because there's other people, participants, other people in their mind. But we're supposed to know ultimately that every experience we emanate and jump into, mind, emanate, jump into, condense into, cultivate, ultimately it's a collection that's going to add up. So you add a second here, you add an hour there, you add 3 hours here, you add a week there, that's going to add up to a month of that same energy in some way, shape, or form, and you having to figure out the good and bad and how to deal with that in some way, shape, and that the way how that play out. That's the mechanism, right? You put in your thought and feeling. That's the seed. Same way how you made your organs. You're doing the same way, building your adrenaline. Sometimes y'all spiritually get lost, get into a lost farm in the esoteric landscaping world, not build the right seeds, and then for the most part, you lack spark, you lack juice, you lack energy. So you lack blood flow because you're not developing it because your spirit is in a space that don't get that fruitful area. So for the most part, you lack to develop these things yourself. So you're more on a percentage scale of needing assistance mentally and physically to build up your attention or motivation or whatever the case may be. And then for the most part, you lack motivation. But motivation, you are lacking the thought and feelings that the necessity you need to bend in and become the essential fluids and minerals that become your blood, so that blood become adrenaline, and then that ultimately be motivation for you to get up and do something and things of that nature. So those are connected. Those ain't separate. You need to understand that. Those things is not separate. A lot of y'all hormones and stuff like that is unbalanced because of the mood y'all be in, and it start to play out as your hormones unbalanced because the mood you in lead to the actions, and the actions low-key be like binge watching and stress eating at the same time. Ain't nothing wrong with having a few drinks and things of that nature, but the mode you in is you in the mode of I need a drink because I'm tired and I can't wait till my day off, or I drink because I enjoy myself. I'm not necessarily drinking like it's a crutch because it's getting me out of my sadness for my job. See what I'm saying? That way you be in situations where even if you drink or you don't drink, it ain't because of some piggybacking motivation, right? So it's all because of your enjoyment. But if it's back to supported by an emotional standpoint, and that emotional standpoint is negative water, this job and I can't wait till I have a drink. The seed you get ready to plant is negative too. The idea, the same energy you in, the alcohol is going to entice that mood. So if you in it just because you like to excite yourself, you get more excited. If you in it because you hate something going on, or somebody fucked you over or cussed you out, or you at work or something like that, that get more enticed. So a lot of times, if y'all drink or stuff like that, be aware of the mood you in before you start drinking, because that specific mood that you're in before you start getting lit is the one that's going to get enticed. Let's say if you got a job where like you're a radio host or something like that, so it's a necessity, drinks, smoke, and stuff like that. You have one of those down days, right? When you was drinking, you made it a different support. You like, well, maybe I need to drink because when I did drink, it got that live stream or it got that club lit. Now it's a crutch. So the mood you in is unsure. The mood you in is I don't know how to feel the same way I'm feeling. So when you drink, in your mind, you like, maybe I need to drink to get into that mood. You forgot the mood though. But that's the mood you in. And that's the words you put around it. Damn, I forgot that one mood. You don't even know how to describe the mood you in to try to get to that other mood. Jump into that spiritual space, make that mentality again, and start to play that out with adrenaline. So now when you drink, you entice more unsurety. Now you start fucking things up a little bit more, whatever the case may be. Forgetting things and stuff like that, because your spirit is more of the observer of what you're focused on, of the body you're making, and the mind is trying to figure out something of a space you're not currently in. So you're not even making up that same fruit. So that's the actions you're showing. So in the meantime, you're questioning things that outwardly, normally, it is not even planned out that way. You still think you're on your job and stuff like that, bartender or whatever like that, but you go to the crib and you start to calculate all the mistakes you made and why I was off and stuff like that. But I'm giving you a secret. It's that simple. All you got to do is check the mood and freeze it. As a spirit, be like, all right, that mood, I was in this spiritual space. So let me make a spaceship that takes me there. This thought and this feeling took me to that area where all those relative thoughts and feelings that I like to be in is at. Boom, you jump into a spaceship and you go there. Then sit there. Then in a physical, then take that drink or whatever the case may be. Boom, that'll be the only thing you into. Everything is starting to emanate and all that other stuff. As soon as you start to slide in, because you have to, you meet your maker. You're the spirit. So you're the god or the goddess. You got to look at it simple that way and don't over exaggerate it. We make up our mind. It's that simple. Make up your mind for that feeling. The moment you be like, well, it ain't that because the mind is separate from the physical. Or, yeah, I might feel that way. That's where you spiritually at. Then you're using other words and then English and stuff like that to try to explain it. But we be in thousands of feelings the encyclopedia don't be even having yet. We be trying to catch up. This is why we got psychologists. You know what I'm saying? This is why we got people and YouTubers and stuff now. We all trying to learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? This is how we make new laws and stuff like that and new solutions for things. And this is how even the Boys and Girls Club was even created. Somebody had to sit around and think about stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? But this is how you expand that on a broad scale to know how things is. All right, but let me get into the Zodiac now. That was the spiritual teaching. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to go further than that, but I forgot I titled this. Well, yeah, it's spirituality too. It's spirituality. I did put that in the title. You know what I'm saying? I did put that because I don't be leaving that because a lot of times, it's a YouTube game. Really, I just come up here and just click live, just live. Man, I could 24 hours, never cut the live stream off. The spirituality here about everything in your life that it makes stuff simple for you too and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing you could never run out of ideas, never run out of. This the best pocket to be in, and it's not even a pocket to even look at it that way. That's why it's just so free. When you with God, there's no such thing as running out of topics. That's almost like there's a such thing in life where you just your eyelid don't work no more or something like that. Where we seen Justin Bieber and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we know what they be practicing and stuff like that and taking all them Ozempic pills and stuff. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. No, some out of the ordinary stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just out of nowhere for no reason and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, when you with God, you know what I'm saying? You see that the actual spectrum. So it's like you can't wait, you can't stop. And what's enjoyable, the only frustration that comes from in life is the right way. Everything could be done the right way. Frustration ultimately could become negative, but you can live a positive life. So when you experience frustration, it's only when something is stopping you from doing something you want to do. And if something you want to do is something creative and positive and things of that nature, you will have all the external and internal and godly results that God will show you that it ain't you and that thing ain't the problem. And you're just probably surrounded by haters spiritually, mentally, and physically at the moment. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all don't know spirits everywhere. So you could be in a situation where everybody first body is the mind. So we all in the spirit world first. You might be, it's almost like in the how I play out in the physical. Humans make fences. That don't mean the beaver that been in that area forever care for a fence to be there. It may stop certain things for them to doing. So even though both worlds is in different attributes and don't really quite understand each other because they share different organs made from different mind states, from different spiritual spaces, we all share the same existence, different worlds. That's different minds that condense into different bodies. So same existence and things of that nature. We could be causing problems where we don't know we causing problems at, right? So spiritual predecessor, spirit and predecessor, what comes before you currently or whatever the case may be. So a lot of times, and let me make this clear so you don't think the pseudo, this is how you got here. We all start off in the mind. That's our first body. And we in a washing machine cycle. So your parents can have the children and your children have the parents. And that varies. Whoever you connect to spiritually, y'all start sharing mentalities and that become shared organ. And you could become your best friend's family in this washing machine cycle. It's not always same parent. You see what I'm saying? It play in the way we in a melting pot now. It's like different race. So as we in a melting pot, so you can change different races and everything in that nature, right? Especially how the mixed thing is going on right now. But there's no such thing as a new ethnicity. You only could be mixed and one going to wash out the other. That's how it always been in existence, right? So for the most part, so when we think about the spirit world, right? I had another point. Let me not miss my point for that. We all start off in the mind. Yeah, so we all start off in the mind. Ooh, right on point. So here's the thing. If a spirit, you ain't the parent yet in the specific lifetime of the mind state you're inside of, because you're in that spiritual space at the moment with those shared people that's doing relatability and sync energy. So y'all can portal each other. Teamwork makes the dream work. When minds collide, it brings the environment. sees it. So if you get away from relatability, your spirit ain't on no train of thought, line of reasoning. It don't know how to create that thought and feeling body line of reasoning. That's a spaceship to go to the spiritual spaces of people who's relating. So you could come into this world. You just separate in your own mind until that fade away and you don't like it no more. Then spirit, soul, sleep, evaporation, and you lost your ability to create a vibe, create a blood, a mind, an organ, or whatever. So here's the thing. This is how you got here as a spirit, using the same space as your parents, just like this washing machine cycle, right? And the mentality is our first bodies. But since they made a mind, vortex, and an organ in that time cycle, whatever y'all spiritual space y'all in, which is characteristics that bend in and become physical features in your organs and your life experiences, because the experience is the body. Your mind, when you jump into it, you just think you experience it, but that's your body. You know what I'm saying? You experience inside your world. For the most part, when you're in the mind body, we can portal inside each other. So you wrapped up inside the same characteristics, which will be your father mind and your mother mind. And your father mind, he be shooting his spaceship in your mother's vortex, her space where her mind be at, sucking it in like a moon. And we're all her natal. And then for the most part, it play out in the physical as ways that things on their mind of how they can physically get together and eventually have sex. The mind is condensing and becoming his sperm fluid, fleshly fluid, and her egg cell remnants. Your mind is adding to that too. The mind is the substance. You in that same spiritual space. So that's why you connected. Now your body is connected with their first bodies, and now you're able to have that condense and become an organ and be inside of their organs. Explain to me another way of life. I don't care how much NASA you get. God ain't tell y'all you didn't know that. What else makes an organ? Sperm cell going into the egg cell, not the sperm being some spooky thing. No, it's a fleshly fluid, and that's when that connect with the egg cell. That's the only thing we seen in existence that make a heart for animals, bugs, and stuff like that. So what makes that? A person being in a certain mind state. I mean, a nerd can't be in a mathematical. I'm at a math master in class thought process. He ain't gonna get horny, nor is the female there. They have to wait till they resonating with their spirit being in this area that made those thoughts that condensed and became those sexual organs. Not the space that they was in when you're trying to make your world and each condense thought and feeling of collections there and make one there, and then now you can physically see which each mentality dream world represent when you made a fruit or organ out of it, so you could express those natures. Oh, let me get in that space, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension spiritually, when I made that time cycle mentality, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, to make that organ, root organ, because y'all don't like the word chakra or root chakra, when I made that dick or pussy area. So when I get into that space, I get into that world, mind I created, thoughts and feelings, and if I add enough of it, it condenses and become adrenaline. And if you're a female, you get wet. If you're a man, you get hard. Okay, you could do that to your heart space. You can do that to your brain space and have a mental orgasm. As a dude, if you into cars or sports, jump into that space. Now you in that world that a lot of other spirits be in, but you like that world. You make your own piece out of it. Oh, cars. The new Batman Camaro. Then you bend into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. Get on Google, the new 2026 Camaro. Oh, I'm having a mental orgasm. Your dick ain't even hard, but now you get what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? Your brain juices is flowing. Do it in the heart space. Your love, heart juices is flowing. We don't have to explain the root chakras again. Ain't life beautiful? Ain't life beautiful? Now, so for the most part, that puts you in a situation of being more in control of things and knowing you make up your mind. See what I'm saying? And that puts you more in control, that when you make up your mind and it bend in, become your adrenaline, then it lead into external actions, because the spirit creates the mind and the mind mimics the spirit. The mind condenses and become the body, so it creates the body, so the body mimics the mind. And the body create things to act like the mind, and the mind do things to act like the spirit. So the body create external things like chairs and stuff like that. But when you use any external thing that you got from your mind, that your mind mimicking your spirit, you'll be able to do it with more moderation. You'll be able to do it with more discipline, or it'll be something that you only do that help emphasize something positively that you're bringing into existence for God anyway. Expanding the universe, bringing new ideas and actions for other people can do for themselves. And then now we all doing the same thing in our own way. Spiritually, creating an essence. Mentally, creating thoughts and feelings that represent relatable and synchronizing energy. And in the third dimension, we all doing the same thing in our own way, though, because that's how it's going to look in our third dimension. You're going to move your elbow when you move it. You know what I'm saying? When you move, I move. Just like that. When you move, I move. Shout out to Ludacris. I still got to remix. It's Saturday. Thinking, you. You know I was the rooster in that video. Any animal you see in any video, that was me. I was looking around. I'm in everybody's video. I'll be in everybody's video. You know what I'm saying? I was in everybody. Anytime you see the sky, you see the clouds, or you see an animal, I was in it. So I'm saying, so you see an eyeball, you see something like that, shout out to WURLDIAH. WURLDIAH, shout out to the Freemasons. They in this. You see a bucket hat, then sometimes they just in it. Shout out to that Young Thug video. Little kid. Was that little kid or whatever? He killed everybody. What did he say? Something in there for the chopper. There for the papa. They show no hands. You're no, you're a fan. You know what I'm saying? He got murdered. Everybody on that track. How Young Thug talking about F the streets and the song he released talking about revenge. I'm saying, dude, chill out, dude. Chill out. Go bump you some Gucci Man kick a dough. No, I'm saying that's it. Everything you just said gonna fade away in your brain as soon as you just go bump some Gucci Man kick a dough. Everything else gonna fade away and stuff. Don't act like everybody in high school is junior high and stuff. Everybody wasn't doped up off of kick a dough. I'm saying everybody hit the floor. Don't act like it. I don't care how much it's snitching floating around in Atlanta and stuff like that. Don't act like that ain't birth, y'all. Don't act like it. I'm saying. Now look, check it out. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get into the Zodiacs and stuff like that. But I just want to put y'all on some spiritual games so y'all all could be more control and things of that nature. Let you know you are a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's no thing at all. So when I say nothing, your spirit is nothing, I'm not scientifically speaking as nothing. No thing is no thing in existence. We create the things. We create the sums of things. We create the subconscious. That's your mind. So your spirit create the subconscious. If you ain't got the subconscious, you're just going to not exist. Unconscious. Now let's say if you created a form, subconscious, and then that subconscious became and condensed and became your organs, conscious, or whatever the case may be. If your conscious get knocked out, your brain and stuff like that, then for the most part, your subconscious, the mind that bend in and become the blood flow, is just stars at the moment. Birdies are scattered all over the place, and then it ain't in those center areas to bend in to become that blood flow to go to that organ that just got knocked out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, as a spirit, boom, you got knocked out of both of your bodies. You got knocked out of your physical body and you got knocked out of your mind chakra body. And then especially if it's the specific chakra that went specifically towards the organ or something like that. Like say you was boxing somebody, got knocked out. It's the crown chakra. You know what I'm saying? So your spirit got knocked out of your crown chakra because your crown chakra was condensing and became the brain and the eyeballs and stuff like that. So once you got boom, you know what I'm saying? Your spirit like, punch. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Better than that. Better than that. Damn, son, where'd you find this shit? I think that's an Atlanta mixtape drop. But for the moment, yeah, y'all, mixtape game gotta pop again. We got YouTube. It ain't no reason for the mixtape game ain't popping for that not to be popping again. Shout out to the Nigerian, Jamaican, Papoose. When he dropped the he made a little movie out of it. Y'all need to start doing mixtapes and drop videos for everything in y'all day-to-day life somewhere. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. And call some hood music reporter or something. Had them come record it so we get some new cocaine cities. Get some new because I'm French stock. Get some new smack DVDs and stuff like that. Like, stop just making it all about battle rap. Start putting new rappers on and stuff. Because we damn sure these DJs ain't DJs in today's time. These 21st century DJs ain't DJs. These cats ain't putting no artists out yet. You You know what I'm saying? What happened to the DJ Clue time and stuff like that, where you probably didn't even want to hear Fabulous or whatever like that. You had to hear him or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And after a while, you're like, wait, this cat dope. This cat smashing everybody on the record or whatever the case. Who was this dude? F-A-B-O what? You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Y'all, what happened? What happened? Like, do y'all want to complain about the music game? Because y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all, it's y'all. That's just, I'm taking over everything. You know what I'm saying? No further than that, I'm bringing a new DJ and artist back and stuff like that. But other than that, my DJ is just in the spirit world. But I'm gonna find a DJ down here somewhere that's dedicated. Everybody too flunked out nowadays. But for the most part, and I think specifically, I might want a female. I say y'all ain't never had that before, except from Salt and Pepper. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna get a native rapper and a female DJ. Y'all ain't get that before. Y'all ain't never get that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never get that before. Y'all ain't never had that before. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. I ain't never had that. But look, check this out, right? Now, but look, peep gang. You know what I'm saying? Because even if they getting written for or not, even in the 21st, like right now, I ain't gonna say the whole 21st century, but even a female rapper smashing the dudes and stuff like that. It's a lot of things. It ain't just snitching. It's the female rappers smashing y'all right now on the lyrics and stuff like that. Even if somebody writing for them, whoever writing for them might as well start dropping records and stuff like that. Because through the pen of the females, they killing y'all dudes and stuff. So it's like, oh, nah. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cats got to start. I don't know, man. Y'all cats is I don't know, man. Y'all just got lost somewhere at some. I don't know. But now let's get into the astrologies. Now look, we're gonna get the Aries through Pisces. Now look, check this out, right? Now the way the sun is gonna hit you as an angle, it's gonna tell you what the experience. Now it ain't just any angle, because you like, what that mean? It's a degree. The day of today is a degree. The sun moves a degree a day. Every day, 24 hour, however the case may be, in a minute or a second, whatever you call it, right? So for the most part, from spring, we're dealing with 10 pockets away, if you want to count 30 day, 31 day, 30 day there, whatever, 29 day there, when we talk about months in the moon cycle. So the sun is very distant from the origin, if you want to consider that, because this is a cycle, it's not really a linear, so you want to call it an origin. That in that case, you want to say the universe is something that it make babies, you get retarded. So for the universe is just a term for a collection of things that's doing a whole bunch of things, all the way to things that make babies is within. So it's just an adjective, not a noun. So when we start to talk about the sun, or the perspective of your time zone, right, is in very distant from the energy that the light rays and the clouds give off, that produce things that we see as color rays and fruits and animals and stuff like that come out around springtime, right? So there's a nuance to it, aka fall in between the amount of days that it leads up back to spring and stuff like that, how we start to see the transition and stuff. So based upon the pocket itself is showing you what the sun makes right now, even if you was born at this particular time or whatever the case may be. So based upon the angle, that's how the light ray is going to hit you, and your chakra or your solar plexus or your sun sign, if y'all don't like that, or your main character that you like to utilize of your mind, that push to the forward energy, that have left and up and down and right going along with it and back going along with it, and things of that nature, so you could pierce through reality but still have your mind and body. So you're still doing how you create a mind and body in the first place. You're just trying to create another add-on, right? So anytime you expand out, you still make another awareness that you could go into. And if the previous ain't done or expired, it become an add-on. So this is how you're developing new thoughts and feelings that condense and become multiple organs and multiple experiences and multiple dreams from the instant state of it becoming the organs and stuff like that. So for the most part, when you think about your main character and stuff like that, if you are the Aries, you're going to know there's a certain degree of distance, Taurus, certain degree of distance, and based upon the in-between and the nuance, each degree, nakshatra, asterism, whatever you want to call it, going to play out as a different relationship. So just because Taurus is right next to Aries doesn't necessarily mean it play out as the same relationship. You see what I'm saying? Due to the fact of the angle, and the angle itself shows the same characteristics, just in different representations physically. So just because we are experiencing it being cold during Capricorn season, it being getting ready to warm up during Taurus season, right? and it actually get ready to become fall time during Virgo season, doesn't mean that there's not in sync relatable qualities that they share beyond you just being lost in the flesh. And well, it ain't the same because I don't think the same as other earth signs, and it's cold during Capricorn time, it's hot during Taurus time, and it's getting ready to be fall during Virgo time. How they like, Dolo? How they like? You know what I'm saying? So you get lost in things of that nature, not understanding circumstances where even if you want to break it down from a physical representation, right? After spring and we get into Taurus season, the 30 days after, that's a fixated energy. So it anchors something. So anytime something is fixed, when you think about a mountain and not a tree branch and a leaf, you can see that move, but you can see a mountain be fixed and need times to break down like a gravel, something that don't happen in space. So there's no such thing as an asteroid. We know how rocks get made, but for the most part, boom, that's how you know it gets that stability in Taurus or whatever the case may be. Then when you get into Virgo, it's harvesting season and things of that nature. So things become a little bit more analytical or a little bit more over analyzing or whatever the case may be. So anytime you have to over analyze something, it's not just easy. I mean, if the video game was so easy and stuff like that, you'll be kicking everybody ass in Tekken and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Once you start getting your ass kicked and stuff like that, right? You got to start thinking like, you know what I'm saying? You start having to face like Somalian ass finesse 2 times and stuff with Ozempic and be like, damn, what's going on and stuff like that. They kicking my ass on this video game and shit like, you know what I'm saying? You start looking at things, right? But, you know, that's how it's playing out through the flesh or whatever. Mentally, you know, you're dealing with a little bit more hardship again. And what's hard again? Mountain, rock, and something that's being fixated. But at this time, it's mutable. It's making you switch up in some hard energy. Like, you got to get fixated, but you all over the place. You want to get hard. You want to be the hardest of the game. You want to get fixated. Mutable earth, Virgo. You know what I'm saying? So just because it ain't the same season, you still seeing the same qualities. Then, you know what I'm saying? Even if you want to break it down physically, you know what I'm saying? Or getting into Capricorn season, we ain't even got to get into the mind game or it being hard, how we break down Virgos being analytical. Just during winter time, shit start to freeze up. So if, you know, something was melting and stuff like that, like water, and now it's at a time of the season where it could be just as hard as a rock or whatever like that, they'll get that same quality again. So we done broke it down in 3 different ways so people don't have to get retarded, you know what I'm saying, and flunk out and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get retarded and then flunked out and stuff like that. You might be like, Dolo, well, you broke down Taurus being something physical. A mountain, you broke down Capricorn being something physical. The snow or ice or something like that. But Virgo, you ain't break down nothing being physical. You still just made it with the mind or whatever the case may be. Last time I checked, when fall happened, the leaves ain't soft no more. You can crush the leaves up and stuff like, all right, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Shut up. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get into it. All right, now look. You know what I'm saying? When we get into Aries, right? So this is going to be a 90-degree angle. So this is going to be a little frustration that it brings to individuals. Damn, I ain't know we an hour in already. My bad. Let's run through it. Aries brings passion, motivation, and desire. Now, cardinal fire, initiate and create new ways of how to see and feel about things. Capricorn is cardinal earth, initiate and create new ways of how to be practical. Now, the modalities themselves, cardinal is initiating and creating. Fix is being fixated on something that can lead to stubbornness or consistency. Mutable is being able to adjust something, change something, add on to something, or just separate from something in general, things of that nature. Or if you want to connect to something based upon if it's negative and you want to go ahead and reap what you sow, which is negative. But at the same time, right, 4 elements got these energies, right? And there's 3 signs per 4 elements. So when we get into fire signs, there's a cardinal, fixed, and immutable. But anybody who knows astrology already know these things, but for any newcomers or whatever the case may be. But it's just to put things in a proper perspective. Aries is the only cardinal fire, so it's going to be the only type of relationship it have with Capricorn, and different than the Leo fixed version and the Sagittarius mutable version. Now, here's the thing. Aries. Now, y'all going to initiate and create new ways of how to see and feel about things. So for the most part, Capricorn may not necessarily resonate with that. So your comfortability of being a boss or whatever like that, you're going to be frustrated with learning how to be more practical. So the more you try to express how you see and feel about things, it's not about that right now. Capricorn wants you to initiate and create new ways to be practical and think. So, you know, when you take those quick actions, calm down and think. When you want to express how you see things, that's based upon how you feel. You could be in your feelings, fire all over the place. That just collection and come together as visions. Pardon me. A lot of these things right now may not have anything to do with Capricorn energy. It may be a negativity to your status, because when we think about
something being earth-like, that's rooted like a fireplace. Fire that's not in the fireplace could melt something. Something that manifests in the physical world is something you're sustaining on, right? Some practical measure, maybe a physical situation, maybe a job, maybe a relationship, something that you could stand on or whatever the case may be when you're not always independent. Those could be the things that actually melt. Those could be the things that actually start to resurface, restructure, and not have the foundation that it previously had that you can actually stand on and feel secure on, or whatever the case may be. And that could be filtered through a relationship or businesses or however the case may be, or your creative endeavors. So you're gonna have to learn how to be a little bit more practical and think right now, not and filter that through your way of seeing and feeling the things. And if you experience that little frustration, temper yourself, because the more that you try to go over extreme, you're not going to be listening, and then you're going to get met with that negative scenario. Now, when it comes to Taurus, you're dealing with trine energy. So it's a 120-degree energy, because 120 days from the beginning of Taurus will be in Capricorn. In Virgo. But if you're going the opposite way, backwards, then 120 days backwards, it'll go into Capricorn. And 120 degrees or 20 days from the start of the Virgo season leads into Capricorn. So when we get that 120 days away from each other, right, the fire signs land on each other with that triangle. Then the water signs land on each other with that triangle. Then the air signs land on each other with the line in the triangle. Then the earth signs land on each other with the line in it. So it's just letting you know the right, down, and left energies, or the feminine energies, is the feminine, the water and the earth, which is feminine. But then you have an internal feminine, water, and you have an external yang feminine, earth. And then for the most part, it's just letting you know that air and fire is the masculine. But then you have an external masculine, which is air, and you have an internal masculine, which is fire. So then you have the fillers, the internal energy, a collection of feelings turn into emotions. So you have the yang internal filler, fire, and you have the yin internal filler, water. And then you have the yang, right? So then you have the yang external, which is air, and then you have, which are the thinkers, and you have the yang the yang internal, the yang version of the inner world. Make yourself inner world hard so you can express it outwardly, which is earth and things of that nature. So this is why air and earth the air and earth signs share planet rulers, and the fire and water signs share planet rulers. So air and earth, when you think about Mercury, it shares Mercury with, when you think about Virgo, it shares Mercury with Gemini. When you think about Saturn, it shares Capricorn and Aquarius, and things of that nature. And then when you think about Taurus and Libra, they share Venus. And then when you think about Jupiter, Sagittarius and Pisces share that. When you think about Mars, Scorpio and Aries share that. And then when you think about just the natural rulers, the sun and the moon, the moon is ruled by Cancer and the sun is ruled by Leo. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, it's just letting y'all know the thinkers is earth and air. Air, think and communicate. Earth, think and be practical. You know what I'm saying? Or analytical. And then for the most part, the fillers is fire and water. Fire, see and feel. Water deals with emotions and things of that nature. So for the most part, so they deal with feelings and emotions, and fire deals with seeing and feelings. So the fillers, you have feeling and emotions, feeling and seeing. Feeling and seeing builds visions. Feeling and emotions build a collection of visions you lost in and can't see anything else, or whatever the case may be. Then you got air, thinking and communicating outwardly. Earth, thinking and practicalizing, analyzing before they want to be seen as stupid before they express something. You know what I'm saying? They get that thing where I don't want to be looked at as stupid. It's all about the money. All right, now look, check this out. So Taurus, you're going to be in some energy where you going to be shown a gift, but you can still experience some negative energies if you don't make your modality change. You share the same focus goals, so you're going to see a lot of things that may be relative to the things that you're already good at, but based upon you being a fixed sign and Capricorn being cardinal, Capricorn want to teach you to be a little bit more cardinal so you can update whatever fixated energy you in before it leads into being stubborn, and you don't get the validation of it being consistent anymore when you're doing that stability energy. So for the most part, that's what it was. So anytime you're stuck in something, be a little bit more cardinal. Initiate some new idea. Be an explosion in that area. Try to build something. Don't just be in some energy like, oh, it's already safe, and if it's broken, don't. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Energy. It ain't a time for that. If something not broke, don't fix it. It could be something that's not broke, but also become outdated. So yeah, your Nintendo 64 worked real good, but everybody about to get the PS6 and shit. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, you gotta look at it like that. Gemini. You're going to be in some misunderstanding energy in conjunction, quincunx, 150-degree angle. So you mutable air, be immutable and being able to adapt to your own and other people's ways of thinking and communicating. That's where you're going to create a lot of misunderstandings. Capricorn wants you to initiate and create new ways of how to think and be practical. So the moment you try to be mutable, share ideas, start to release information that you just experienced, you might be saying things before a person may have wanted you to explain that to other individuals, so now it seems like you gossiping or two-faced or however the case may be. Capricorn wants you to think and be practical and initiate that, and that might take times of not gossiping, not being on the phone or whatever. So that might cause a misunderstanding because you might not see no external representations that the square signs like Cancer, Aries, and Libra, and Cancer is the opposition sign. You might not experience something head on to show you it's a mistake yet. It might just be a free fall, so you're free to be in your natural energies. But then if you're not aware, that's when your natural energy is going to come across as a misunderstanding where, yeah, it might have been cool last week to go ahead and gossip to a family friend or associate. But whatever they're going through, they may start looking at you like whatever you're doing to them, you doing to them also to someone else that y'all know. Since you call them and gossiping, they're going to start thinking, oh, this makes sense right here. They're going to start being more practical. Let me not speak too much to this family member, friend, or associate. And if you're the Gemini, they're going to start thinking, just as much as they gossiping about this other family member to me, what I'm getting ready to tell them, I can guarantee they'll tell somebody else or Uncle Jimmy or somebody. So for the most part, that'll put you into a situation where you might feel weird or whatever and create misunderstandings in areas like that. So don't speak too much based upon information you receive during this particular time if it ain't useful, if it ain't Capricorn-like, if it ain't something you can initiate and be seen as the entrepreneur or some business, not just some business like it's gossip. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it gets into Cancer, there's going to be the opposite energy. So you're going to be seen as everything opposite to what's necessarily needed right now. Let's say if you're a spirit right now that's actually doing your 1-2 and you're positive, you're going to be seen as the necessity or the balance or the thing that puts something together, or you could be taken advantage of also, and an individual could use you as a crutch at this time. So you have to be careful where your emotional comfortability or your home welcoming energy or your nurturing qualities and stuff like that, a person will start to take that for granted. And the way you express yourself, you give them the sentiment that no matter what they get ready to do, you not thinking about what they're actually doing. So you're not going to take that away from them in some way, shape, or form. And you might got issues with them in other areas, and you might not have expressed it that way because you want to be nurturing or however the case. So it can play out that way during this particular time. Capricorn going to force you to be a little bit more hard. It's going to teach you to be a little bit more business, not personal. So you might got to stand on business, even if y'all ain't got no business, family or friend or associate or coworker business or whatever the case may be. You might got to start standing on business about what you don't like at the moment and start bossing up so you could be known for that, so that person don't keep bringing that mess that they was probably unaware of, and whatever that you was creating for them as a safe haven, they didn't even put the 2 and 2 together, so they think that was just going to be there, yet right in front of you, constantly doing stuff that rub you the wrong way and make your mood all over the place and stuff like that. Y'all know y'all hate that as Cancers. So Capricorn is going to teach you that during this particular time. Make it more business than personal. Try your best not to make it personal. I know a lot of you Cancers sometimes don't even like to jump in any form of business if it ain't no shared common emotional connection or no at least trauma bond or something like that, at least some shared history or something like that. At least both y'all grandmothers did something to y'all similar or something like that. So that's some type of emotional connect. Sometimes y'all can't even do a business without that type of connection, but you got to force yourself right now. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be able to see how your own mechanics, your own spaceship, your own caricature is going to be updated and more sufficient and things of that nature in areas you didn't even know you was capable of, and stuff you was making matter in your life that you even shouldn't have had matter, that was actually holding you back. Now, when it comes into Leo, this is going to play out as the other side in conjunction. So you always have a masculine and feminine version of it in conjunction and things of that nature when it comes into the internal world. So I meant to say masculine or feminine, but I mean the thinker or the filler. So you have the filler in conjunction and you have the thinker in conjunction. Gemini was the thinker in conjunction. Leo is the filler in conjunction, 150 degree if you went the other way around. So for the most part, you is fixated fire, being fixated on your own way of seeing and feeling about things, not initiating, create new ones like Aries, and not being adjustable and being able to change or detach or have a broader meaning about seeing and feeling about things like Sagittarius. You got your way of doing it that could be the cause or the effect, set the stage, get the attention, or be the example for other individuals, or be able to express for other individuals a better way of how to get attention or receive it or be creative so it could be a spotlight. Now, for the most part, here's the thing. You're going to be in a misunderstanding. What you're giving attention to may not necessarily be what you should be getting attention to, even if there's no negative results coming from it. It's going to play out as misunderstanding. You may misunderstand that the thing you're involved in is actually leading you into procrastinating. It's actually leading you into whatever you're doing, and whatever was having you shining is dimming your light a little bit. And you may even think that it worked last week. But I always like to make this example for Leos. You could say the same joke at a time that is not going to get the same reciprocation. It's not going to get the same laugh or whatever the case. So you might not know when that process happened until you go ahead and stuff your little ego in that situation and get your little pride hurt. Get your little ego hurt and thing. Your little lioness egos hurt, male and females and stuff like that. Then y'all have to go through that experience over and over again, separate from certain people you care about, to be like, well, I'm going to separate my energy from this person or whatever the case. Then realize that don't work at times and stuff like that. Then cause something so you can see the effect, to see the amount of care, whatever. All the loopity-loop loops y'all be going through as Leos and stuff. Y'all get creative too. Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all some creative ass motherfuckers. Y'all some creative, man. Y'all can steal the show. That's one thing y'all know how to do, steal the show. Even if it's all the attention for all the wrong reasons. It don't matter. Y'all know how to steal the show like a motherfucking goddamn it, a bag of Lay's potato chips when everybody pouring hungry. But other than that, like I said, when it gets into that energy, right, y'all dealing with the in conjunction energy. So it's going to be misunderstanding. So you may misunderstand what you're giving attention to at the moment. So it might be certain people you entertaining. It might be certain things you're entertaining in general that ain't people. That's going to lead into procrastination. And then you ain't going to realize that it's dimming your light until your light already dim. And then you might start to have that resentment towards people that's dimming your light, where they're just a buffer and a filtering system of what you're actually doing or what you're not doing. Because it ain't always what you're doing. It could be what you're not doing. And what you thought you was doing, whether it's binge watching or giving this attention or doing things of that nature, it can play out as an inability and a restriction that Capricorn see, and now you misunderstood the actual task that was going on at the moment. You have to be a little bit more sophisticated. You might be giving a lot of attention to things that ain't even got nothing to do with the money. You see what I'm saying? And the Capricorn would be like, you ain't bossing up. You think somebody just going to do something because your looks? Because you know how to express yourself, you know how to do a cartwheel real good, you know how to tap dance or whatever. You got to come a little harder. You got to actually look at the contract. You got to actually get involved where you can put yourself in a position where there is a contract. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Now, getting into Virgo, this is going to play out that 120 degree angle on the other way around, just like, well, Taurus was the other way around, just if you're going into equal, if you think linear. But it ain't linear, it's a cycle. So for the most part, when you get into Virgo, this is 120 degrees or 120 days away from Capricorn. So you're going to share similar qualities as Taurus, favorable energies. So you're going to have similar things where you look at and be like, oh, I'm good at that already. Or this person may need me. You could be up to get taken advantage of during this time also. So be careful. But you could make same mistakes as everybody else due to the fact of if you don't adjust your modality. Capricorn want the Taurus to be a little bit more cardinal when they may be too fixed. So that earth energy that y'all already in comfort zone with could be more sufficient and updated and be used in areas where the sun ain't even in Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. And it wants you to be a little bit more cardinal and not so mutable at this time. Because it's so often that a Virgo will sit there and think they have to perfect something, get so analytical, get way more information and know how to do it better than everybody else in that world, then think that they still ain't good enough and think that they still need information. And then it takes other individuals to actually get successful, but for the Virgo to see from a distance to be like, this person ain't doing something right. Then once they get into that, I put my 2 cents in energy, I'm worrying to perfect, you start to realize that you missed the door opening for you. You've been ready. You burnt yourself out. You were so ready that you knew how to do it, and 10 other people who ain't even did it yet. And the time that you was hard on yourself perfecting it, you knew it way more than someone else, and you never jumped into that cardinal energy. So that's what Capricorn want to teach you right now. Time to initiate, time to take all that, and even if you unsure, even if it's not perfected how it is, learn how to look at imperfections as what make you perfectly you, not something being perfect as just like NASA teaching us nothing is nothing and the spirit is no thing. Perfect ain't no such thing as a perfect circle or square or brick or a mountain or whatever the case may be, but your imperfectness would make you perfectly you and different than everybody else. So you're on your way to being one of a kind. Appreciate that. So it wants you to be more cardinal now. I don't care if you ain't ready. I don't care. Go ahead and put it to the test. You'll be surprised. You more ready than everybody else there. Now you can relax your nerves and you all that worrying you did for no reason. Capricorn trying to teach you that. Fellow earth sign trying to teach you that and things of that nature. So that's what you're going to be going through this particular time too. And if you get all nerve-wracking and think, nah, I need another fish on my plate. No, I got to go hunt again. If you're a female, no, I'm not right again. Oh, I got to fix my makeup this way. All right, you're going to miss the door opening. Then when someone in that position, then when someone in that relationship, then when someone in that opportunity, here you go. Oh, you should do it like this. Or if you don't even know the individual, here you go putting your 2 cents in around people you do know, and you don't know what being your family, friends, and associates and coworkers' head. In their mind, they be like, why ain't you been doing it? You think I want to hear you complain about it every day? And now you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what Capricorn want to teach you is. Now, when it gets into Libra, you're going to be dealing with energies like Cancer and Aries, just in your way, filtered through the cardinal air. So for the most part, air is initiating, creating new ways of how to think and communicate. Now, it might be similar common interests, but that talking to get it, communicating, thinking there has to be a conversation, that got to be in the backseat. And every so often, Libras are leaders like the other cardinal signs, but they do it through communion. And sometimes a Libra know how to filter their way through another individual and still be the silent leader. You know, and the other individual will be needing the Libra to even be what they think is the leader at the moment, even if other people giving them attention. Like sometimes this be like the Aquarius or the Leo, and sometimes Leo have the same quality, well not the same, but have that quality like the Libra, specifically Leo moons. Leo moons like to give attention because everything is in reverse. The moon is how we react and respond to things, our needs, and what makes us feel comfortable. And anytime we're not around our moon energy, we get uncomfortable. The sun is our wants and our actions are how we are seen. So since the moon is how we receive, you would think from the external world, well, the Leo moon would like to receive attention. That's on a small percentage scale. It's the internal world. So they already got a world of imagination of Leo. So they got enough for themselves and to give. So if they don't have a Leo sun, it could be any other sign, even a fire sign. They get put up and get taken advantage of if they don't have a Leo ascendant or a sun or a Mercury teaching them that, wait a minute, don't give too much of yourself away. We need that to be seen so people can give us what's inside of them. There's chakra zodiacs. You see what I'm saying? The Leo moon with a different sun sign don't always understand that. You know what I'm saying? So they already got enough attention. They feel like when they give attention, then that's when they expect it back. But they be having enough to give, and a lot of times they get their little pride hurt faster than other individuals. But they also got the talent like the Libra sun sign and the Leo sun a little bit, but mainly the Leo moon. But the Leo sun could do it anytime they get out of their own phone, where they can make someone else feel like they're the leader based upon whatever personal quality have, and it's more in sync with what other people want to see in the social group at the moment, while that person appear to be the leader, need all the qualities and need the best friend or the family or the coworker, that Libra, for them to even do it. Especially when it get hard, it'd be things that y'all might see as the front man, the front woman, that y'all don't know the Libra that they call their family, friend, associate, or coworker hear all the times when they just can't do it. They can't make it. They need that word. They need that assistant. Can you pull up on me? Or whatever the case may be. Yeah, they be talking to their Libra friend. This shit done, y'all. Oh. So, for the most part, you can get drink that way too. But Capricorn is going to take you through frustrations so you can be more independent. And here's the thing. You might get forced into not doing it because there might be other people who ain't trying to make you or use you for you to be dependent on them, but you might always want to balance other people's relationships out and things of that nature, which as a family and whatever the case, right? So there may be even instances where Capricorn is teaching you how to be more independent, but not independent in that way. Show somebody else how to be independent, so they're not using you as a crutch all the time. So they know how to use their mind. Especially if you're around another Aquarius or a Gemini, you might have to initiate a thought so you don't get this weird pressure even when you ain't, because y'all Libras got this connection with y'all family, friends, and associates. y'all be having to think for people. You know how these cats gonna think, or how these chicks gonna think, especially if they Geminis and Aquarius. The Aquarius might be in a predictable way, and you could predict that they're trying to do something unpredictable. And in Gemini, you might already know what type of decisions they make. So you got to throw something in the air, and other zodiac signs too. The Libra got to throw something in the air that they can hold on to, so you know it's helping them with their decision making when you ain't around. And a lot of times when you do that, you will have those family, friends, and associates and co-workers that come to you, tell you their day, and you know deep down inside, they spirit really want to tell you they day went better because of the advice you gave them. But once their spirit is in their first body, their mind, that's the collection of their thoughts and biases. But you put them in a spiritual space for them to even have it in that archetype, in that world with that fruit. And then once it been into the body, it's all them now. It was really all them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a reason for them to be excited to even call you. But it was all them. But you don't get in no ego. Just be like, yeah, for them to even be that excited to tell me, yeah, they know they spirit really secretly telling me thank you. You know what I'm saying? It just can't come out through these bullshit layers of biases, bullshit of he and she thinks she's somebody today or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They can have that. Let people have that. Let people have what they have. You know what I'm saying? Libras be able to go deep in their mind sometimes. They just don't be having a fellow next door neighbor spiritual person to explain it in words. Now, when we get, so don't get taken advantage of, but I want you to be a little bit more independent at this time. Even if you're not being independent, show some type of quality where you not being independent and relating to others, you're still showing another individual you still have to be independent though. Yeah, you might got me around being a Libra, but I ain't no Libra, but I'm just explaining for y'all. I'm an Aries, but yeah, I might be the Libra, but y'all still got to know how to think for yourselves and don't act like y'all thinking for yourselves, but when y'all make the wrong decisions, now I'm the one that thought right. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Take this template I said ahead of time, and we ain't got to have these problems. And that's how y'all Libras got to be amongst y'all family, friends, associates, and co-workers for the next 30 to 29, 28 days. Now, for the most part, because Saturn is also exalted into, it's exalted in Libra. So that's just your archetype, even if you're not a person with that in your zodiac, having Saturn in Libra. All the alignments that make up things is the makeup of it. It's how we can even describe your characteristics in general. So it's like that wedding ring energy, that pinky energy, and things of that nature. But that pinky energy in communion with the index, because you know what I'm saying. You have Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Then you get the other cardinal, mutable and fixed. Summertime, you get spring, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, summer, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Then you get the wedding. You know what I'm saying? You get Leo, you get fall and the wedding ring or whatever the case may be. Then that's Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and then you get wintertime. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the sun and the moon. You know what I'm saying? So if you want the whopper, you take these. You know what I'm saying? You take these, and then what you're doing is, because you make your cycles in every area. You do the same thing with your eyebrows and eyelids specific to the geographical location of your lineage. This is how we build our phenotypes in our bodies. So we all do the same thing, just in our own way. Our own phenotypes and ethnic groups, but we're all doing the same thing. So we all do this. We all can do this. But like I said, it ain't what we do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? So how we look ain't the matter of it. What we're doing is mattering right now. You know what I'm saying? And what's happening is but if you do this in all communions, every body part have this area. You're doing synchronizing and relatable energy on a macro scale. The more smaller, the faster the time. The more macro, the slower the time. So you're doing like a seasonal transit in your own specific way real fast. Now, what made your organs, your tissue, your mind? So what makes it work? The intent. Because what's an intent? The context, the collection of things on your mind. What is a mind? A collection of thoughts and feelings. So that's what's condensing and becoming the adrenaline. So if your spirit in the right space to make that mind, And then that mind, you make more thoughts and feelings once you expand it. Now you inside of it. So you inside of your spaceship, then you make more of it. So now this is how you inside of your mind and organs in the first place as a spirit that emanate and internal, expand internal. Then for the most part, the intent become the structure of the organ and the adrenaline, and it also become the external experiences and which you're going to attract. So get in that spiritual space, structure that mathematical mind state, then that's an intent. Once you collect it, then put all your chakras together like that, and your organs that made it, your planet cycle, left hand, day, spring, summer, father, 1st through 6th house, night, Mama Lilith, 7th through the 12th house, nighttime, PM. And then for the most part, you're just doing it real fast. But your blood cells can't see it no other way like you being a blood cell in Yehovah. And for the most part, which you meant to the ground that you actually seeing it on, you're seeing a transition through spring and summer. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, the intent is speeding up because you're putting out the cell salts and the adrenaline. So the mind, then become the adrenaline, and you're pushing it out. Your DNA is always something. This is something. That's why I don't put your fingers in people's drinks and stuff like that and things of that nature. Be careful eating from people, especially if you're a man. If that ain't your girlfriend, been fucking her for a long time, chill out. But for the most part, you're putting fairy dust out or whatever the case. Now, think about your intent. That's something you about to get up and try to do anyway. So when you do it, you're going to witness more doors being opened than an individual who probably flunked out and tried something and they mentally practice, physically ain't good at shooting a jump shot. You know what I'm saying? So it'll take them a little bit more spiritual meditating. So for the most part, when we get into Scorpio is a sextile energy. So this is 60-degree angle, 60 days away. On a smaller scale to experience now by just the sun being in Capricorn and the moon being in a position that the sun would be in if it was that. So we get to calibrate the plug in the socket, the masculine and feminine, mama and father, right? Masahama, Masamatomi. So for the most part, here's the thing. When we get into Scorpio, it's going to put into a fixed water, be a fixator on your own way of seeing it. Be a fixator on your own way of dealing with the feelings and the emotions. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities where the iceberg version of water, which is Scorpio, so that could be hot too. You know, iceberg can burn you too, right? You don't have to melt right now. You don't have to switch up. You know what I'm saying? Actually, a grudge or a negative energy, Capricorn is going to give you opportunities to transmute that, regenerate that into something positive. Put to death the negative attributes and make it positive. That trauma turned into motivation for that success. That heartbreak turned into you getting up off your ass and getting another relationship, or not allowing that to hold you back and just experience that freedom at the moment. So you could just ease into one, not some intentional one that probably lead into a negative or similar situation as that current or previous one. How to get out of a bad habit or whatever the case may be, because it'll show you that, all right, whatever you're doing is you're procrastinating and it's time to put that to death and put life to this thing, so you can start developing determination and motivation to inspire other people that may be stuck in something that's putting them in their internal 8th house or internal darkness or internal things that they only do behind closed doors. But if it was to be outwardly expressed, it'll put them in a vulnerable position or situation in some way, or a compromising position. So you're being shown how your qualities or your emotional state could be somebody's rock, how your emotional state could be your rock, and things of that nature. Don't let this emotional state to get melty and have you all over the place, but it's still underneath the water, so no one else can see it. AKA, no one know how you really feel about them. No one know you really got a grudge. Know what I'm saying? No one know you really got a secret animosity. That don't really throw nobody off but you. You the only one who at work ain't really getting ready to get the job done right like that. You the only one get ready to think the gossip mattered more, but all you did was waste time talking and stuff like that. And now you got less hours, so have the case. You the only one thought that you was getting over by messing around on someone you mad and upset with because they cheated on you, and you get ready to be catching the STD before them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Capricorn wants you to be use your emotion for the things that could put you in a better position. So when 2026 get here, or the finishing up of this month, you can cultivate your business endeavors a lot better, or your money a lot better. Not no new unique way to carry out a grudge. and because you was backstabbed or hurt or whatever. Now, for the most part, when they get into Sagittarius, now this is going to share similar qualities as Aquarius, due to the fact of it being a fatal attraction. It don't have no actual influence because they're just on the same side. So anytime you have signs on the other side of each other, they're looking at the same mailbox. It's like three houses on the same side of the street. So they're not angling each other. They can only be looking across the street or looking at the same thing. So even if they got different vibes or not vibe, but like different personalities or however the case may be, their personalities don't rub each other in the wrong way. Here's how you can get a lot of times an Aries around Tauruses and Pisces, or a Libra around Virgos and Scorpios and things of that nature. Or you see what I'm saying? It's a situation where very different elements, personalities, but they're not butting each other. There's no angle to but. So it's almost like we could laugh at each other and stuff like that. What you do that someone else may do, don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa type of energy. It plays out like that. If someone was to throw a rock outside their house, yeah, the rock gonna hit across the street. The rock gonna hit catacorner in conjunction. The rock might hit the square 90 degree and stuff like that. But it got to be intentional to come outside, face right here. I don't like you, the neighbor, because my favorite cartoon is King of the Hill, or however the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all be watching. So, for the most part, if y'all all came out the house, all three of y'all rocks and hit everybody else. The square, you see what I'm saying? So it's like that. And the water may hit the rock, throw they rock a certain way. So y'all get the point. So when it gets into Sagittarius, you have to forcefully assert yourself into some type of Capricorn quality with too much of that sad stuff. You trying to teach, or you trying to open yourself to learn, or you trying to experience, or you trying to express your creativity to expand whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, a business, a creative endeavor, a household thing that you do, whatever the case, all the way down to washing the dishes. You might got some new way, or I want to listen to church music this time, whatever the case, right? But this month, nobody want to hear no church music. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want to hear it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yeah, it's all about the you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? If somebody might bring up how it ain't got nothing to do with your cleaning, like your wife or your husband, vice versa, whatever the case may be, might be like, man, the church songs and stuff, that's just giving me a headache right now. You ain't even washed the dishes the right way. You still left melted cheese on the goddamn plate. No, you still left goddamn chicken skillets in the goddamn frying pan. However the case may be, you know what I'm saying? But right now, you got to change up a little bit. So if you forcefully assert your meaning to something, your morality to something, it's going to get put in that Capricorn line of fire. And Capricorn bringing restrictions and boundaries. Nobody want to hear that shit right now. Nobody want to hear your ass preach right now. Trying to teach her. You know how to rob a bank better than someone else. Though a wiser way to rob the bank. I don't want to hear all that. You know what I'm saying? You got the wiser way to hit a cigarette. Nobody want to see all that. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. You got the more spiritual way to kick a dough. Well, I didn't hear all that. As soon as you get caught and stuff like that, you got a million stories about, because my grandma did this and she ain't cooked stuff the right way and we were so poor and stuff like that. No. You in court right now because you a thief. You kicked the dough. And you got caught with a flat screen running up the street. So, you know what I'm saying? That was it. They got nothing to do with it. At 3 years old, the milk was spoiled that your mother had and she couldn't afford it. And y'all was on welfare for the first 17 years and a half. Y'all, what about all that? You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. They know how to talk, though. I swear thieves know how to talk. You know when you're around a thief. Just listen to they talk. As soon as they get ready to do something wrong, here's how you set them up to prevent a situation. Make up something that you think they doing wrong. Y'all can all be walking up the street getting ready to go to the park. You be like, hey, you moved your left kneecap the wrong way or something like that. If they get into a whole history about their grandmother gave the last stick of gum in their purse to all their cousins when they was getting ready to go to church except them, and they built a trauma behind it, that, if they get ready to get into that, that's a thief. Don't be letting them in your house all like that. I don't let them make that your best friend. Tell you right now, they got a whole collection, a whole notepad of goddamn history excuses in their brain. Get ready to get in their desires to steal. Now, that's always first. None of these membranes stop them from stealing. It's just always the first go-to membranes to go to once they get caught. I'm telling you that the P game. I know, I'm from the hood. Trust me, I know how to read people. But like I said, so Sagittarius is, y'all gonna be in that energy. Nobody wanna hear all that shit. Now, Capricorn, y'all gonna be in some energy where y'all gonna be the representation. Y'all gonna be the if, ands, and buts, or what to do and what not to do. So you ain't gonna have no external examples. So don't be looking for no examples and Uncle Jimmy's and stuff like that, or Auntie Sally's and Lassie's and stuff like that to try to be like, because you're gonna be starting to play resentment. Then you're gonna be hard, but you ain't do that within inside yourself to build that discipline. So you're gonna be trying to be hard to someone else and blame it on them because you was expecting them to teach you the right way to do something once you done made the mistake. So for the most part, you ain't gonna be no example. So don't even look for it or whatever the case may be. Put yourself into a situation where just do things that you feel comfortable with. What you feel comfortable with is already the collection of thoughts and your feelings, your solar plexus, your Capricorn. So you're gonna know what you're doing right or wrong based upon a reciprocation. How you start to feel after the results of the collection of thoughts and feelings you emanated, to see if it's worthy or worthwhile enough to bend in and become a adrenaline for you to actually take those actions to play out in that way, to see if it's actual people that give you negative resistance or some stuff, or whatever that you're doing. If it ain't nobody involved, it ain't come out the right way, whether it's your talent or your goal or your business, and you have to sit back and reevaluate or go back to the drawing board. You have to go through those experiences. Don't be scared of it. Because once you be scared of it, you're not going to notice what you're doing. You're looking for people that you've been doing this on. It's just with small pockets. So it's not playing out as a large macro collection to show you you're using crutches. You're using mental and physical assistance. And once it don't go that same route that Capricorn going to try to teach you, build that own independence, be yourself now. And I need you to even know when you're not yourself in areas that you may be comfortable in due to the fact of assistance that you ain't even know is that yet via people, places, and things, right? It'll lead you into areas of, once you meet that trial and tribulation, that restriction boundary, here you go blaming it on someone who ain't even know you was looking at them like that. They was giving you advice or doing this for you out of the kindness of their heart, going on about other things in their life. You made it all about something that your whole life. Now you making this person feel like, damn, I shouldn't even really did all that. If this person, you know what I'm saying? AKA you not knowing that this person is a crutch and you're playing as a blow up now. You done let it accumulate so much, it's blowing up in your face now spiritually. And it ain't nobody's problem but yours, and you're trying to make it somebody else's problem. You just carrying around too much dead weight, and spirits have to shed. And it's shedding unwarranted and steered in the wrong direction via wrong people and things of that nature, because you're not constructing your own mind, making your own mind and constructing it as a healthy God or goddess being a spirit. So understand that. Your mind is your first body, and then you make your organs, and that's how it moves. Now, for the most part, which is the second body, the feminine one. First body, the mind, the masculine one. So the mind, masculine body, makes the feminine world, the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Then that bends in and makes the feminine body, and feminine body, and the goddammit feminine world or whatever. So you get to receive here. So your masculine body makes the feminine world, and your feminine world makes the masculine body from the external representation that you could touch something and be hard and see things being linear within the container of things being indirect and non-linear. Now when it comes to Aquarius, so Aquarius, Aquarius, you're just going to be on the other side. So you're going to share a lot of qualities of Sagittarius. Capricorn, you're going to be the example, so don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? You're going to develop that more hardness. So when people going through harshness, they can lean on you, and then you don't have to be in that resentment energy where you manifest situations of there's no one there for you when you need it. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, even when there ain't no one else there, you're internally hard. You don't have a hardened heart. You know how to create internal hard energies for your soft heart. So you got those internal katapis and mountains. So can't nobody pierce through it, because we all want to be soft inside, but presenting it might put us in a vulnerable situation. But we don't want to present it and then make the heart as hard as the rock, have a hardened heart, and now we can't experience no fruitfulness of life, and we're detached from creation of life, vibration, and making that experience in our life, and love and things of that nature. Now when it comes to Aquarius, right? This is fixed air, being fixated on your own way of thinking and communicating. So Capricorn wants you to initiate, but take the thinking quality that y'all share and put the communication in the back seat. So when earth signs think and be practical, air signs think and communicate, you're going to see common interests like Gemini and the earth signs did, right? But for the most part, and Libra, but you're going to have to set aside the need and the communication part for the validation to be there, or the comfort zone to go about something. You got to build up that internal cardinal, get out of your fixated energy, out of that norm energy, what may have worked last time energy, and get into, I have to be cardinal. I have to be really unpredictable not be predictable in my Aquarius way, a person know I'm getting ready to ghost them. No, let me switch up this time. Let me not even ghost them this time. Let me not even, and I'm not saying everybody do that because people need to be ghosted at times, but I'm just saying, I'm just varying it for the lens of how Aquarius can understand. Switch up for real, but then initiate. You know what I'm saying? Actually show your revolutionary quality, but add cardinal quality with it. Leading, because Aquarius is revolutionary, but fixated. They might be revolutionary in one specific area, not creating something new that there could be new revolutionaries in, like the cardinal signs could do, like Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, and Libra. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes the Aquarius need the Aries or the Libra, specifically the Libra, if you want to talk about shared relative element-wise. Libra initiate the idea, Aquarius can carry it out, be fixated on it, and make it revolutionary, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But what they may lack is presenting something new. So they could be rooted into something to their death, rooted into some stubbornness, and lack the qualities of consistency after a while. So that what leads into an Aquarius, they could be good at being unpredictable, but it makes their unpredictability predictable. So that's what the Aquarius got to learn right now. Switch that up and throw a person completely off, or whatever the case may be. And once you throw the communication style to the back seat and just add the thinking, now the thinking is going to be filtered through more practicality, the earth energy, and more initiative energy, the cardinal energy. Therefore, your thinking could be seen in a better situation before you be put in a situation where you got a good ass idea, but a person don't want to join you because they don't want to give you the satisfaction because of the energy you already in that's fixated. That may make another person feel like they're giving you credit and boosting your ego. And a lot of times, yeah, you like your ego to be boosted, but for the sake as someone else having to feel retarded, for the sake as someone else having to feel like they the little homie or the little chick out the group. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all grown ass women and adults and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So y'all make people feel a certain way to not make them fully go with what you go with, to make you feel like you the victim and you ghosting people, where really you just made people go through a whole mental war and stuff like that. Y'all don't be getting that. Y'all be doing certain stuff to make people mind fucked up. Y'all Aquarius is chill out. Chill. Y'all, especially with y'all relatives and y'all friends, y'all don't know how deep it go for other signs. Something might be simple to you of how you done thought about something and got rid of the emotion. Ain't that simple for everybody else and stuff like that when they're connected to you. They might could do other people that way. They can't seem to figure out it being done from you, and you just looking at it like, oh, I'm just an Aquarius. This person retarded at the moment. And they don't care how to argue with someone else. You someone they care about it. Someone they care about. You forgot that part. You far away from Cancer. You know what I'm saying? You forgot that you said that you someone they want attention from. You forgot that part. You far away from your opposite Leo. No, I'm saying you someone they want to communicate with. You far away from the trine that's closer to Cancer. So you see what I'm saying? Like, so you forget. You probably understand. Yeah, they probably want to communicate with me, but I'm fixed in my foggy air. I ain't mutable all over the place. That's close to something that's in more close with everybody else. So you got to understand that. Sometimes the things you do that you think is simple ain't as simple to everybody else because you're their relative. You're their friend, not the other people that you think just because you could do this as fast to them. They probably can do that just as fast as someone else. Not you. You they brother. You they sister. You get it? So y'all got Aquarius. Y'all got to don't be so detached, microphone head in space all the time, speaking from the lens of some radio show with space ghosts and Zorak. All right? Come to Earth sometimes. All right, but that's what y'all got to learn at this time. But you just on the other side. So you might have a little bit more favorable qualities to Sagittarius because you share the same dispositor, which is Saturn. Saturiwa, but at the same time, shout out to Florida and things of that nature, and the natives down there. But at the same time, this puts you in a situation of knowing that cardinal energy, that initiative, being initiative, and thinking, but not too much talking and mind talking to yourself, thinking that you have to think for others or thinking people are retarded or whatever the case may be. Put that in the back seat. Your Aquarius energy won't be in a line of fire of experiencing boundaries, restrictions, and limits, and you'll actually be able to see more doors open up for things that you could be the example for other people to start taking more serious because you already ruled by Saturn, and add in that unique energy because you're co-ruled by Uranus. Now, last but not least, Pisces. So for the most part, this is a sextile energy, mutable water, being mutable, being able to adapt to your own and other people's ways of dealing with the emotions and feelings. So you're going to see a lot of opportunities where you're going to be able to solidify or find that cup or find that container, that earth element that look like it's something new, initiative, cardinal, Capricorn, that you could pour all that water, creativity in, and it could take the shape and form of looking like it makes sense. It's not all over the place getting everybody wet and making everybody think water is wet. The reason we created the word wet is when objects that's not water got water on it. So the object is wet because it got water on it. Ain't nobody going somewhere and saying that ocean wet. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, learn. For the most part, like I said, when we get into situations of Pisces, esoterically, the esoteric heavenly waters, right? Your version of it is mutable. Everybody has got a version of water. Fire, air, all these are conditions of it. We need a different term for water. But then when we get into what that different term is, that breakdown from the multitudes of ether. And then for the most part, is the different transition of what we call an ether. You have the first 1, fire, 2, water, 3, air, 4, earth. And then you get to make another one, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. So in the water portion of it, whatever, right, you have mutable, the mutable construct of it. And then that's going to be scattered waters. So that's like a dream here, a creative attribute here, a delusion here, a false sense of faith and belief here. This moral may work here. This moral may not work here. I think the whole world revolves around me sometimes. So it's going to be a lot of stuff like that and stuff. So for the most part, when it comes to Capricorn, it want to show you which one of these is harder than the other one. And grab it and see if it's not soft enough. And when you grab it, bring it into a reality and see if it's retarded or a false faith or belief, or if it's something you can actually make some money off of. But don't just stay in that world where these things could just be made as fears. So it wants you to be a little bit more cardinal, a little bit more initiative. Take one of these things and see if you can make $1 million off this thing. I don't care how crazy it is. Take one of you got opportunities. Things may have seemed or appear to be crazy if you was expressing when the sun was in Aquarius, or if the sun was in Libra, or even if the sun was in Gemini per se, or Taurus. The sun is in Capricorn. It's a 60-degree angle. You actually could see how, if not from yourself, maybe people in your life, family, friends, associates, co-workers, something you stumble into by presenting yourself, have this initiative quality where they can initiate or ground or present something new that your creativity could be presented in. And now you got a platform for it. Now you got a stage for it. Now you got a curriculum for it. Now you got an expertise for it. Now you got a philosophy for it. Now you got a gig for it. Now you got a job for it. Now, or what this thing is, make you better at your job, make you better at what you already doing, or however the case may be. And whatever delusion you was in to not see that, Capricorn is teaching you how to throw that away. You know what I'm saying? It's some mutable energy that I need you to be a little bit more cardinal with, that mutable energy. And all the negative spheres, that soft ain't hard enough, like a hard snowball, so we can't make no snowman that day. The snow is too soft. The snow is too soft. Go ahead and just finish shoveling. You know what I'm saying? That snow ain't going to be useful. Wait to a different time, a different season, when that delusion may work, when that bad habit may work, when that false sense of reality may work. And we might get away with it another time. We need things to be hard, frozen, wintertime, cardinal, initiate, jolly snowman, all tree leaves being hard right now. AKA solidify that dream, solidify that creativity. It could work now. I don't care how many family, friends, or associates or co-workers may have told you that's retarded last week. You need this last month. Won't you do this a little bit more and do that a little bit more 2 months ago? You in Capricorn right now. You just might stumble across something without even the things that might have made sense that people was giving you advice for. Just because you are expressing something, but your actions may just right place, right time, where last month it was considered normal that was the wrong place, wrong time. You might go through something during this time where a person be like, why was you there? You know what I'm saying? Like, it might have been like a place, let's say you're up and coming artist or something like that, and it's a place that is already rooted and it makes sense not to go there anymore. But that club or something like that, you like, let me just go there this time because I want to do something this time, or whatever the case. And it's just that lucky time, something just happened, that person was there, that connect was there, and you ain't even there for the reasons you was there previously that made up the experience for y'all to make it make sense not to go there. You just went there to some other time and was like, because I'm this. And then you call your manager or somebody and you tell them where you at first or where you was at, and it was like, why you was there, whatever like that, and you was like, man, you would never believe it. Barry Gordy was there this time. I'm glad I wasn't there trying to cuss out promoters because I wasn't performing. I'm glad I just came here to chill that day and just to see certain people that day. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's gonna be some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where a delusion last month become your goddamn creative goal this month. Just cause the 60-degree angle, the opportunity that Capricorn could ground at and have a holy grail type cup for that water to be poured in, that creative attribute, that esoteric holy water. So don't be down in your own dreams just because somebody else downed it during this particular time. Anytime you're dealing with a favorable alignment, it's going to create boundaries and restrictions towards whatever you stopping you from doing it. Boundaries and restrictions towards the ideologies you be in, that you be listening to your stupid friends and family that be stopping you from doing certain things of that nature, whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's gonna play out like that for Pisces, but you have to not be scared. But I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Flight Boss, bitch, you know. For sure. You're not listening to the Modern Military's Moon. I'm the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. Hold on, gotta go for that. Recta Swahil, hold that yellow hoop. Massasoit, Mama Natoit. Massasogo, Masasaki, and all that.